Hello, hello, it's Melinda from Scrapbooking and Craft. We'll just wait a little bit while people are jumping on because I know that the live is delayed by a few minutes. Just going to find it on my phone so I know it's working and I'm not here talking to myself. So if you are popping on to watch us or watch me, us, I always say us, it's just me, it's lonely old me. If you're popping on to watch, pop a comment in so I know that you're watching. You just say hi. I'm just making sure I am on live on my phone. Oh, there I am. I'm live on my phone. Let's turn that off. So welcome, welcome. We've got a few jumping on, which is fantastic. Rushing around today. About 12:15, I decided I'm hungry and I better get lunch before 1 o'clock, so I thought I'd go cook a bacon and egg sandwich, and it took a bit longer than I thought. Hi Margaret, how you going? So instead of doing a full project today, I thought we'll just have a play with some of our products, and I have I went to bed last night. This all come about because I went to bed thinking about foam stamps, dreaming about foam stamps. That's dreadful. And I was thinking about what other designs to put in some of my leaves and things. I didn't grab it, but this one's got dots in it available as well. So I was thinking, oh, I wonder what other designs and shapes I could do. And then I thought, I wonder if I could actually use the solid ones and make any design I want. So my mind was ticking over and I had to get up and play in the middle of the night. So if I sound a bit tired, that's why. So today I'm going to show you how to turn these flat-faced rubber stamps. See, I'm tired. Don't know what I'm talking about. Flat, untextured foam stamps and give them some texture. So I was playing late last night. I know this is a bit hard to see. Hang on, I'm going to zoom in and then I'm going to zoom out. Let me go across to here and so you can see these, and I've just got to flip back to my other screen. I'm getting very technical with my computer. So these stamps here, I know it's a bit hard to see. I will put some close-ups of these on Facebook after the live. Have actually got texture in them. So these ones here have got some script writing in them. This one down here has got stars. It's quite faint. And then I was doing some autumn leaves. This is our beautiful new, I think this is a medium foliage stamp with our netting stamp stamped into it. What else have I done? It's a bit easy to see on these bigger ones. So I'm going to show you today how you can take our flat foam stamps, the solid ones, and create any sort of texture you want in them. And it's a great once-off stamp. So every time you stamp, it's going to be different, which is really cool as well. So of course we're going to use the gel plate. Any excuse to get the gel plate out of its packet, I take. I don't really need an excuse. Let me just zoom that back out again. I've just got to flick screens on my computer. Okay, so these are a selection of the foam stamps. So what I've grabbed is 4 of the solid ones. I may not use all of them today. I was mainly going for the ones that had the bigger surface area on them. So this is our large vine leaf. This is our small vine leaf. This is the medium foliage, which is a new release this week. And this is our small foliage. Then I grabbed a few of our older stamps that have been released in the last couple of months that had the texture on them. So this is our large netting. I may have these names wrong. I put names on the computer when I load them up and then I sort of forget. We've got our large, I think that one's called Mandela. This one I think is circle with squiggle lines. Could have a different name. And this one's our star collage, maybe, something with stars. They're all listed under foam stamps on the website. So I'm just going to grab my gel plate out. So just a little bit about a gel plate if you've never heard or seen one before. It's basically a flexible surface you can roll paint out on. And I find it really good to apply a thin layer of paint to the stamps. So when you buy your gel plate, it comes in this clamshell packaging. A bit noisy for a minute. We're just going to take it out. Keep this packaging because it's great to store your gel plate in. It stops it from getting bumps and lumps. The first time you take your gel plate out of the packaging, it will have a second layer of plastic on either side, a thin Perspex layer. Take that off and throw it away. Never put it back on your gel plate. And of course your gel plate won't look as disgusting as mine. Mine is well loved and mine is possibly 3.5, 4.5, 5, 6, 7 years old. and it's still in perfect condition. It's yellowed a bit and it's got a bit of paint stuck on it because I don't wash it because I'm lazy, but it's possibly 7, I was trying to count how many houses I've been in where I bought it. It's about 7 years old. So I've just got it sitting on a chopping board that I use in my craft, just mainly so it doesn't slide around on my desk. I could put it on a glass mat if I had one of those fantastic Tim Holtz glass mats, but I don't, so we're just going to go with the chopping board. So I've got some paper on my clipboard just so my paper doesn't roll around my desk. It's just photocopy paper, so it's just what you put in your printer. We're also going to be printing on some grease-proof paper from Woolworths, which is this paper here. This is a really thin paper. It's a bit thicker than tissue paper. When you buy it, it comes with a glossy side. That's the side we glue down, and it comes on a matte side. That's the side we're going to apply our paint to. And it looks like my daughter's bunnies are going to compete for noise today. So when you glue this greaseproof paper down from Woolworths, it almost disappears, so the paint remains, and the paper around the paint, if you haven't stamped on it, almost disappears. So that's fun to play with as well. So let's get started. So let's talk paints. I'm going to, I did grab the others. Where did I put the others? Oh, right in front of me. Okay. What I found when I was playing is I preferred to use the Dina Wakley Media paints. They're a bit thicker in consistency. They're what we call a heavy body paint. So basically heavy body means it's a thicker paint in its consistency. And I found that worked better on the foam stamps, especially because we're putting texture into them. I did try some Delusions paints, but it's a lot more liquidy. And I tried some Distress paint from Tim Holtz. It's a bit more liquidy as well, so it's a bit of a thinner paint. So personally, I found the Dina Wakley ones worked better. So I'm going to work with 2 colours because I like to combine 2 colours. 2 of my favourite colours, Marine and Peacock. So I'm just going to put some out on my plate. You don't need much paint at all. I am using a little fraction more paint than I normally would because I'm wanting more paint on my stamp than on my gel plate. So I'm just going to roll this out just with the brayer. Every time I do a roll with the brayer, like a up to down, up, every time I go on the paint, I then pick my brayer up. So my brayer isn't in constant contact with the plate. You can tell I'm a bit tired today. It's only day 3. God, if you come to my lives at the weekend, there'll be a basket case. It's feeling like a real show. I get this tired at a real show. It's terrible. So just rolling that out till it's nice and covered. Then I'm going to take our big foam stamp because it'll be easy for you guys to see, and I'm going to place it down in the paint. So I haven't added any texture to it yet. Hi Diana, how you going? So just popping the foam stamp down, flat side down into the paint, picking it up. Now before we stamp this on our page, we want to grab our large netting stamp, and I need huge amounts of room when I'm gel plating. It's terrible. And I'm usually standing up when I'm doing it, so I'm all out of joint because I'm sitting down. We're going to take this and basically just stamp into the paint. So we've got paint on our foam stamp, and we're taking a second foam stamp and stamping on top of it. That's going to, you're not going to see it until we print it. So that's going to remove some of the paint, and we're going to press it down on our paper. So I like to hold the foam stamps down for about 30 seconds on the paper, just so it gives enough time for the paint to transfer. Hi Desiree, how you going? Sometimes the first time or the first stamp you get is not a great one. Sometimes you have to build up a little bit of paint on the foam stamp to go with. And I'm going to add a bit more paint. It's very hot here today too, and I've got my door open to get some ventilation. Let's just go and add a bit more paint. You have to be, I'm going to end up with stuff everywhere. You have to be quite quick as well when you're stamping your second stamp in. So let's do this. It always works off camera, it never works on a live, does it? So we're going to pick our stamp up very quickly. We're going to take our second stamp and stamp into the paint. And then we're going to go down on our paper. We're going to hold it for about 30 seconds. Periodically, this second stamp you're stamping in, you just want to stamp on some scrap paper. So we'll do that while we're wet. Just to remove the paint. Excuse me, I've just downed lunch and it's not sitting real well. 1 o'clock snuck up on me today. So there we go. We've got a nice as you can see, I don't know whether you'll be able to see the texture within the stamp. Let's add a bit more paint. And let's just add some more paint, see if we can get a more decent image. I got some really nice ones when I was experimenting. And always the way, when I go to do it on film, I've got some really nice dark ones. When I go to do it on film, it doesn't work, as I just put brown down. Oh, okay, we're going to do a brown leaf. I just put brown in the blue. That's all right. I wasn't watching what colour I picked up. I was up late. It's all Hillbilly Scrapping's fault, if you know her. She's a lady I work with at the craft shows. I was cutting chipboard to the wee hours in the morning for her order that needs to leave on Thursday, so I'm a bit tired today. So we're going to grab our second stamp, very quickly press into the paint, and see if we get a better stamp. It's going to be brown and blue, but I'll clean all this up in a minute. Hi Fiona, how you going? Ah, much better, except for the colour. So you can see the texture within the stamp. Let me clean all this off because I put brown on top of blue, and that's not very good. Sorry about the shaking. Just going to clean this off and go back to the blue colour. And we're just going to grab a second piece of paper, put that one across to dry. Actually, I can put blue back on here. So let's put our blue back on because the blue looks quite nice. What I might do this time is not roll out it over the entire plate. I'm just going to roll a section of it and see if we can get a darker print. As you are removing paint from the stamp, Kirsten, are you laughing at me? I know I'm all fingers today. I feel like I've done like 6 days of the craft show. It's only day 3. So a little bit more paint. Lots more paint on there. So we're just going to stamp with the second stamp on top of our leaf and quickly put it down. Because we're applying a really thin layer of paint, grunge is what it's called. Yes, Kirsten, definitely. I picked up the wrong paint before and put brown into my blue. There we go. That's a nice better one. It only took me 4 stamps. Seriously. So I was thinking, what other textures can I use apart from foam stamps? And I've actually got embossing folders, and I'm sure we all have in our stash old Cuttlebug embossing folders or any brand embossing folders. So what I thought I would do is apply the paint again, take the bumpy side. An embossing folder has a raised side and an indented side. Oh, I'm laughing at you blaming Hillbilly. I blame her too. Yeah, it's nice to have someone to blame. Growing up, it was always my uncle's fault. He was a bachelor and never married, so it was always Uncle Colin's fault. Whether he was in the state or anywhere, it was always Uncle Colin's fault growing up. We blamed him for everything. It was so funny. It's good to blame someone else. Hi, Lynn. How you going? So this particular one, it's working a bit better now. We have got script instead of the netting stamp. So the trick to it is have a bit more paint than I'd usually put on my gel plate. Just basically using the gel plate as a palette. Yes, I can take prints from it. The prints won't look as nice because I'm using a bit more paint. Let's do one of these small ones. So to clean up your foam stamps, all I do is wipe over them with a baby wipe, and that's what I'm going to do with the embossing folder when I finish. So this is our large foliage stamp that I've released this month. So we're just going to pick that up. I'm going to grab the embossing folder again and just press into it. If you're doing lots of these, I would clean up the embossing folder periodically as you're stamping. Because you're wanting to remove paint, this will just add more paint to your piece. There you go. Oh, that looks really nice. So it's quite subtle, but you can get lots of different designs within one solid foam stamp, which looks really cool. So let's do another one of those. You can also, when you're inking up on your gel plate, you can actually purposely put them in different spots and then make a bit of pretty pattern paper. I'll pull that off in a second. What are we going to do? We're going to do some squiggly lines on this one. So another one of my foam stamps, just pressing over the top. So I'm just printing on printer paper at the moment, so I'm going to cut these out eventually and use them in my art journal. I find when I'm gel plating I produce a lot of prints and don't tend to use them a lot. I should use them more. Oh, I like that one with the squiggly lines. What you're looking for is texture that's small. So a embossing folder that has, where did I put it? Lost it. So embossing folder that has a larger design won't work as well on these smaller surfaces. So you're wanting to look for really, really small textures. Let's get rid of that bit of paper. Let's go with, this is our small leaf, so I'll just show you the size of this one. So these new foliage stamps actually come with matching, or you can purchase matching stencils and mask sets as well. What are we going to do with this one? Let's do a bit of star with this one. So it's great to have a foam stamp, a stencil and a mask, and you can use them in combination. What I found was with this one was it was handy to have a clear stamping block just to be able to press it. Still in view. Now I'm on the gel plate. Oh, I'm all thumbs today. Just be able to press it down because it is so small. Sometimes it's hard for me to get my hand on the smaller ones, but I found by picking up a stamping block and pressing it down it works really well. And our paint is drying a bit too quickly. It is very warm here today in country Victoria. Beautiful weather to dry my clothes that are hopefully drying on the line. We'll just do this one. I will pick up this print. There we go, there's a better one. So you can sort of see the bit of the star design. So I cannot wait to turn some of these into an art journal page or into a, just going to rip some paper off, into a project. If I do have time for that this afternoon, I will post a picture on Facebook. So this is the greaseproof paper from Woolworths. It's great for art journaling because it's nice and thin, and when you glue it onto multiple layers in your art journal it's not getting too thick. And for anyone that's new, this is the package you look for at Woolworths. It's like $1, well, it's under $2 for 30 metres, so it's really good. I find it's a bit thicker than tissue paper. I find I can't gel print on the tissue paper because it's too thin. And now we've got a pretty print we can use in a background. And I'm going to grab some more paint. Grab this off again. Normally when I'm gel printing I wouldn't have this amount of paint left, but because I'm wanting to get paint on my stamps I am applying a bit more paint. And we'll do some metallic ones. I've just discovered a metallic and a brown looks really nice if you're wanting to do autumn leafy things. So we'll do that as well. So this is basically the extent of me cleaning up my plate, and we get some nice backgrounds. I could cut this down and make a card front. I could put in the background of my art journal. So the brown I mistakenly put on before is umber and gilt. Gilt is a metallic, so I'm going to put a bit of that down. I love putting the umber and the gilt together. Makes nice autumn leaves. And I've got blue on my roller. Whoops. So as you can see, when you're gel plating you end up with papers everywhere. Especially if my daughter and I get the gel plates out together, we end up with papers halfway down the corridor and all over the couch. And so let's do a big one in this one. And what are we going to press into this one? I'm going to press the embossing folder into this one again because I like the scripty words. You could also press a like a red rubber foam stamp or even a clear stamp. Just be careful if you are doing it with stamps. You need to clean off the paint really well because it will it can damage your clear stamps or rubber stamps. And you do need to clean this your paint off the foam stamps as well, because if the paint hardens on it in big layers it will oh, that's a nice distressed one. If you let a lot of paint soak onto these and build up, you'll actually damage your stamp. So you just clean them up with a baby wipe, and sometimes I will go and soak them and get the rest of the paint off. So I probably need to put a little bit more paint down. Let's do some circly ones. This gilt is a bit transparent as well in the Dean Wakely paints, so it's going on a bit transparent. I think I need to be a bit more heavy-handed with the paint. Ah, that's a better one. Hang on, I've got a comment. What a great idea is embossing folders. Yes, Elizabeth. I was thinking, what else can add texture to it? I also use a lot of like material, lace you could press onto your stamp just to remove some of the paint. Basically anything that's textured. But my poor embossing folders get a bit neglected. I haven't used them for quite a while. So I thought, why not get them out and give them a new life. Just got to remember to wash them afterwards so you don't wreck them, because the paint, because this is acrylic paint, it will set on the embossing powders. Just going to get rid of that page. Let's do some small ones. I've got another embossing folder around. Hang on, I did grab a bunch out of my box. What else have I got? We've got, oh, the dots have looked really cute. What have we got? Squares. Oh, let's try the zebra stripe. It might be too big though. I don't know, we'll see. This one is sort of like a zebra stripe. Be interesting to see, because it's a bigger design, what it looks like. I have a lot of things to go clean after this. I don't know whether this one will work or not. No, I think I need a bit more paint. Oh, it's very warm here today. It's drying my paint out. Let's go again. I have to talk less and work quicker. This second one should work a bit better. Ah, it does. Let's do a third one and then I'll pick them all up and show you. Don't like that texture folder as much because it's a lot. I just did put a small dot one here. We'll try the dotted one. It's a lot bigger design, so you can't see it as much. This one's a small dot, so this one should look really cool. Yeah, you can see the small dots a little. I'll take some photos of these and post them on the page, on the Facebook page. And if I go and make any projects with these this afternoon, I do have to go and film some videos for Craft Alive still. I'm in the Craft Alive classroom at 4:30 every day, and I still have 3 videos to film for the rest of the week. Very disorganised, this show. Well, disorganised in my life, I should say. But if I play with any of these pieces, I will definitely post a picture up. I've just put some more paint out to see if I can get a better impression. But I just wanted to pop on today and show you this cool thing you can do with foam stamps. So our new foam stamps are on sale. We've got a huge sale on our website. If you look on the left hand side, you'll see all the different categories on sale. Oh, that's a better one. And there's also a competition every day on our Facebook page as well. You can win a $15 store voucher. So you just need to go find that post and leave a comment. There's usually just a question to answer. It's usually not a hard question. Don't make things hard. Oh, I really like it with the script. That's really cool. And I like that they're distressed. So what I'll do with these is I'll go and fussy cut them out. This particular stamp I was using to make cards. Let me pick up those cards. Where are they? Not. Oh, they're these ones. Sorry, they were buried underneath. You don't want to see beyond the filming area because it is a big mess. So this particular stamp in the dots I was using to make wreaths for our Christmas cards. So these are all stamped in paint. And basically to get them to curl around, all I did was, when I stamped them, instead of stamping them straight like this, I decided to stamp a lot of straight ones today because I've got a lot of curled ones stamped out. You just curl your stamp. And when you place it down on your paper, you just make sure it's curled around. And then you can make some really cool designs. You don't have to curl it as much. You can sort of do it a bit. See if I can do it wiggly. Oh, there we go. So these stamps have a lot of different uses, which is fantastic. So you can make your foliage do all sorts of fun stuff. And these ones will do it to a limited capacity as well. You do have a little bit of turn room in these ones, so you can sort of curl them around and bunch them up. But these ones work a whole lot better because they're all straight. that's my short demo today. As I said, I must go film some videos. Next Craft Alive show I will not be filming videos the week of the show. I'll be more organised, maybe. So I'm just going to go clean up this and clean up my stamps with baby wipes and clean up my embossing folders with baby wipes. If it doesn't come off with the baby wipe, I'll take it under the sink and just give it a bit of a scrub. But you do need to get this off your stamps. Thank you very much for watching. And if I do make anything with these papers I've made, I will post a photo up so you can have a look. I'll be back at 1 o'clock tomorrow, which is, what's tomorrow? Thursday? Is today Tuesday? No, today's Wednesday. I didn't even know what day of the week it is. So today's Wednesday, so every day for the rest of the next 4 days at 1 p.m. I'll be back doing something live, and I promise I won't be so spacey. But I do need to cut some more shapes for Hillbilly Scrapping tonight, so it's going to be another late one. But that's okay. Thank you very much, and I will catch you again soon. Bye for now.